Okay, 11 seconds in. Was waiting to see if this was actually going to go live. Yes, it is going live. Okay, after a 90 plus degree day here in the greater Puget Sound region, Seattle and outlying areas of Seattle, I just came across a video there's a number of the videos on YouTube, and they're doing military pilots, Air Force pilots, and all of that. Hello to the one who is here and who hit like. Thank you. I just had a passing thought when I saw it, and I just wanted to come on and say, just because I was in SSP doesn't mean that I hated all of it. Sorry for the look. Like I said, it's been a day, 90-degree day. I'm done. It's a little warm. I've got fans aimed at me. Not enough. Anyway, but the thought crossed my mind as to why I'm not angry about being an SSP. Yes, I'm angry about being an SSP, but there are things that I actually miss about it. And besides the abuse, besides all the crap, there were things that I enjoyed. Things like flying. I actually miss the flying. Being in those transport vehicles, being in a part of something greater, that was really awesome to me. Being a pilot for them, that was a huge deal. That was a very, very big deal. Granted, things are a bit different in my life now, and that's understandable. And I'm remembering a lot more of SSP, Secret Space Program, for those that don't know. But when you're put into that and they tried to break you and they weren't able to do that with me, they put me in as a pilot. My time, you're a big fan, Marcelino. Hello. Welcome. So this was only supposed to be a few minutes of a live just talking about the fact of bits and pieces that I remember from SS, but I remember more than bits and pieces. But because of that video that I saw today, that reel, and they're constantly playing one of two songs, and that drives me nuts. But the pilots really do deserve. And that's something that I didn't realize until just now. I mean, pilots really do deserve honors, because if you're especially a transport vehicle pilot of any kind, I don't care if it's on Earth, I don't care if you're on another freaking planet, you deserve kudos. Because what I remember from SSP and what I got us out of at different times, that's a really big deal. And the fact that, yeah, these people, whoever they are, whoever is doing the reels for their own YouTube channel, that's all fine and dandy. I'm not kibitzing about that. But what I am saying is that think about the Air Force pilots. They go through an awful lot, just like the folks on the ground go through an awful lot. Yeah, it's very different in services, but it hit me as to how much I love and miss flying, and how big of a deal that really was to me. So anyway, I guess I'm saying, hey, say kudos to the pilots, say hello to them, tell them thank you for their service. And I know I'm talking about the ones that are on Earth, but also for those that remember their time with SSP, kudos to you. Thank you. Hey, Woo Riders. Yeah, other than 90 degrees and I'm too freaking hot, yeah, things are okay. That and I've been in a great deal of pain. Sorry, I read your message as I literally said that, so I apologize. Anyway, so I've had a great deal of pain, but it stalled constantly, too easy to stall. See, and the interesting thing is what I'm realizing now. Hi, Florian. Hi, Owl. Hey, Who Writers. For those that have come in, not only do I love to fly, I now want to have. Hey, I now want to. I'm seriously thinking about a pilot's license. Why? I mean, obviously, some things are going to have to change with me, but that's. Hey, KT. Anyway, actually, I've already talked to him. Being a psychic medium, I've had a conversation with Jesus, so thank you, Cyan, or Cyan, or Kaylin, or however you pronounce your name. Because getting high is fun. No, I don't do that. Games by 1,000. Anyway, so I came on to just basically say thank you. If you're with SSP, I thank you. If you're current or since retired, like me, although they've got me, oh, cheerio, ignored my comments. Rude. No, actually, I didn't see your comments. Hang on, that tells me, thank you, I appreciate that I need to pin as my, no, I don't want to pin, I don't want to message. Oh, let's see. I hit the wrong damn button. Let me see, where is it? Chat filter, there we go, top messages. No, I want all messages. Ah, there you are. Okay, so titles in the air. Oh, I did miss some messages. I apologize to those folks that I missed messages on. Titles. Titties in the air. Ah, okay, I did see that. That's actually kind of funny. A little off topic, but rather funny. Anyway, pilot talk, getting high. Ah, laugh out loud. Never mind. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, I just say thank you to the pilots that are around, whether they're Air Force or if they're SSP, because hello, I don't know, I just wanted to come in and say hi and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about, and you don't have to stick around for it. I get it. This is just a short, less than 10-minute statement. So anyway, if you want to know more about SSP, Secret Space Program, so I was just about to call it SSF, Secret Space Force. That's interesting. Never thought of it that way. Thanks. We appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Or if, you want to get into ufology, look at some of the things that I've talked about in the last 3 years publicly. There have been a great deal of talk also from UFO I-Team, which is now defunct, but the account is still posted on Facebook. So many weird and rude people that pop through. They scroll all night in different lives and just talk shite. Really is annoying and pathetic. Yeah, some people can do that. Very much so. Anyway, like a lot of people are flowing in and out. I think 13, 14 was the highest there. What is this video about? Big Man. Hello, Big Man. I am a ET abductee, psychic medium, MyLab, and SSP survivor. This video is about SP at this moment, so top winner, number one advice ever. That would take me a while to figure something out for all time. Anyway, Hermit. Okay, not dealing with... Oh, I agree with that, but, Big Man, so were you abducted by aliens? Yeah, I'm a lifelong ET abductee. I'm 57 years old, and it really looks it today because I'm overheated, and it's been over 90 today, or it's been 90 today where I'm at. So I am not a 20 and back. I became a pilot. What do I to to have as my claim? I've got body marks. Body marks that... How did I become success? Honey, it depends on who you talk to. Depends on who... No, I'm not. Make my camera move around the room. No fucking way in hell will I do that. So, I became abducted. I've been consistently told by friends and by psychics that I don't know. I've got quite a few friends who are psychics. I've got a number of people that I know that are psychics that I don't personally know them. And many of the psychics have told me that I've been abducted from the time ET abducted while my mother was pregnant with me. Now, from what I remember from age 4 years old. How do we know your body marks are all from aliens? That's a good question. You don't know, I know, and I take pictures of the body marks that disappear within 6 hours, or 12 hours, or even 18 hours if they've done surgery on me. For example, hello, Simple Fish Tanks, hi. For example, what a bunch of bullshit. No, not a bunch of bullshit, Braden. For example, there have been times where they've done surgery on me, and one kind of surgery took 18 hours to heal from. Another surgery, so I had human carpal tunnel surgery on my right wrist. I had ET carpal tunnel surgery on my left wrist. This little bugger, took me 6 weeks to recover from. This one, the surgical scar was gone within 4 to 6 hours. I took pictures. Up the wazoo. I took so many pictures. Every hour I was taking pictures of it because I was like, they really did this. Oh my God, they really did this. And now you can't tell. You cannot see a frickin' scar. You can't see. It looks like normal. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm going crazy, and I wasn't. Now, the surgery that they did on my throat, my trachea, my left eustachian tube, and part of my inner ear, that took days. And there's a time differential when you get abducted. Okay, so evidence these people exist. If I could provide evidence, that has been my source. That has been a big deal to me. If I could provide some kind of legitimate, accepted evidence, I would. In a heartbeat, I would. But it's not been doable. I'm built like a saxophone. Honey, I'm morbidly obese. What the fuck are you talking about? Speak it. If you're going to say it, speak it. And it doesn't offend me unless you become really disrespectful, then you're out of here. And why hasn't it been doable? That's what I would like to know. They don't want to be on camera. That much I know. Unless you're wearing... Bigman, you're asking a lot of really good questions, or questions that a lot of people... Congrats on my on my sobriety, honey. I don't do stuff. Anyway, yeah, if I were able to definitively prove it, I would, in a heartbeat. Matter of fact, one of my biggest things is I want pictures of me and my hybrid kids. Every one of them. Thank you for retracting your own message. What sobriety means. Sobriety usually deals with some kind of addiction issues. We have absolutely zero evidence for your claims about existence of aliens. I think it's blind faith. Well, that's fine. That's fine that if you so choose to think that way. That's your opinion. I'm telling you my experiences. I am telling you only my experiences. I'm not showing, other than the one that I can show that is a square. Of course you can't see it, and I'm not moving this down. Where the hell are you? Right here. That little frickin' square spot. God, I'm not able to. Oh, I'm dehydrated. That's part of the problem. That little square patch spot that's now almost kind of a weird looking triangle. They frickin' took a skin sample from me. I was not. That doesn't make me a happy camper. So, you know, that's a really good point. There are, I used to show them a few years ago. Brand new ones. Matter of fact, I had, and okay, so this I'm going to show. There's no ET symbol on me except for right up in here. Go back into my videos. When I start showing my right hand thumb area, you can see it has disappeared. But there used to be a triangle mark, a very large red triangle mark. And I used to call them, I still call them that, ET tramp stamp, because they piss me off so badly. And I don't, oh, there's the dog. So, hey, Angelica. Yeah, please do that, because there used to be, and over time, these triangular marks disappear. Our body, they literally seal right over, so it gets really rather interesting from time to time. The dog, yeah, my dog just got a hold of his squeaker toy, so anybody who has issues with squeak squeak, you might want to leave now, because usually he'll bring it into me and I'm like, we're not playing right now. So yeah, I'm serious. Go look it up. You think I'm lying? That's fine. That's your opinion. So is the dog in a spaceship right now? No. Oh my God, you cracked me up. Anyway, Les. Hello, Les. Angelica, you got any questions for me, dear? Because I know you know me. And I know Woo Riders knows me as well, but I don't know if you guys are still sticking around in chat. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I might just have to take me off camera for a moment. Yes, Big Min is saying, well, if you were abducted, would it not be in a spaceship? Okay, that leads into a whole series of conversations. When you're abducted, typically, yeah, you're taken, if you're taken by ETs, you're taken usually, you're put into they control your brain. They control your body. And if you're sleeping, they keep you asleep and literally take you right out through. They use what's called phase shifting, and they literally will take you right out through the walls, windows, which, let me tell you, that's not so nice, because there's a squeaky to it when you go out through glass. It's a really wicked, nasty feeling on the body. Up through a ceiling, wherever, and you're taken to a location, and up you go. If you're wide awake, like when I was, I think it was 5 or 6 years old, where my mom and I were abducted off of I-5 as she's driving between southern Oregon and the beginning of northern California. I actually just recently on the location of where I was taken, where my mom's now deceased, where my mom, this year, she died this year, where my mom and I were taken in the van right off the frickin' freeway while the van was still moving. That's a different ballgame. It's a completely different game. Now, if you are abducted by my labs, which is military laboratory, however you want to pronounce that, then you're looking at a different ballgame. You can be literally somebody in military uniform or in completely geared up in black uniform, and your home invaded. So yeah, things can happen that way. There are many, and there are ETs that are working with U.S. government. Hell, they're working with global governments. Nothing new there. Or at least nothing new to me in that regards. And those ETs that work with that government, they will abduct just like the others abduct. They control the mind, and you're gone. So yeah, do please. Look at it, look into it. So did anybody else observe it? That's what I'm trying to find out, because I'm trying to find out if anybody reported that Speaking of pain, oh, sorry, hang on 1 second. Sorry, guys. Going through a really bad nerve misfiring right now in my low back. When I talked about pain, I wasn't fucking joking. Okay, so God, totally lost my train of thought because of that shit. Alright, anyway, you'd asked me a specific question. I gotta go look at it again, because, Fast Ed, beautiful, superior white, got it. Oh, thank you for that, appreciate that. Greetings from Austria. I thought that said Australia. Hello, Austria. That's an extraordinary event. Yeah, so that was, hang on a second. I gotta count on my fingers. That pain just totally freaked out my whole senses. Okay. So it was in 1975. 1975, is that it? Because Mom and my stepdad were married until, yeah, so it was 1975. So yeah, I need to, but the problem is I don't know what month, because my mom was taking us down to my aunt, my stepfather's sister's farm in California. And we were going, and Mom was so excited because we were going to be 6 hours early. Come to find out, we were 8 hours late. Anyway, we were somewhere between 6 and 8 hours late. And so that's quite a chunk of time to have in missing time. I don't remember all the math right now. I'd have to go back in and look at my notes again. But basically, that's it in a nutshell. Yeah, and the reason And oh God, there's so many things that are popping through my head right now. God, there's so many things. So basically, what ended up taking place with that, and you can go back in. I've told this story so many freaking times it's not even funny, but you can go back in and look at the different things that I've talked about. And if I could find out, like Peter, oh God, I always forget his last name. Peter Davenport. Oh my God, I know that voice. Hello, Michael. You're not allowed in here. Speaking of spirits, anyway, and being a psychic medium, there's certain people I'm not enthusiastic about on the other side. Anyway, so Peter Davenport has Newfork. Don't ask me what Newfork stands for. It's NUFO, Newfork, ORC.org. Anyway, I don't know what month it was to be able to figure this out, to see if there's anything on his newfork.org. I haven't had the time. Okay. That is going away. So is that one, because we don't need the two on that. I bet your mom is like 1,000 years old. My mom was 86. Honey, I don't have money to be a sugar. Oh my God. Okay, hang on. So I will be right back. I've got to hit mute and I've got to close my door. Okay, that hurt. I am back. I'm getting off. There we go. To get the duct tape. Okay. So, I'm a feeling. Oh, that's got to go away. What's my. Okay, that dad's crack overdose rate, that's got to go. Okay, okay, hang on. Apparently, I'm all discombobulated. There we go. Okay. All these Nasir, pardon me if I'm misspelling or mispronouncing your name, all these abductions and ET stories coming from United States or from the West. Why not reported from any other places? You people are great hallucinators. Hello, have you looked into Brazil? Look into Brazil. Look into England. They are coming from all over the frickin' world. Do your research. Don't give me crap about this is a United States thing. Bullshit. It's over the entire frickin' world. Do your research. You're coming at me with that crap, I'll come right back at you. Chapter and verse. Look into ufology for 90 fucking years. You want to piss me off? That'll do it. I'm usually even-tempered. I'm usually pretty good about things. But that, no. We don't talk country. We don't talk races. No. Not political. No. Okay. Big man, yes, I am 57, correct. Um, all right, so getting rid of the bullshit. All right, now, Blue Riders, good question. Do you believe the earthquakes and volcanoes will continue to pick up? Yes, I do. Matter of fact, if you go back to 2019, 2020, on the UFOI team on Facebook, you will see my predictions for what's coming. Sorry, that my anger is not directed at you, Writers. I apologize. No, this is not AI. You're full of shit. Okay, so Eddie's ex-Pokey. Bub, how old are you? Are you 13? Because you're talking like you're 13. Anyway, and I had a real 13-year-old in here and told them to skedaddle because this is not a subject, talking ETs, unless you've got a parent or guardian. Unless you've got a parent or guardian, this is not something that, and this is why I typically don't do early evening, because it's, well, according to that clock, it's 8:21. But that clock has always been a bit fucked up. So let's see. Yeah, well, apparently that has no battery. So can't tell the time right now. That's fun. Okay. Is it really out? Yeah, it's out. Okay. Anyway, oh, I might actually be able, 8:21. It is 8:21. Okay. Yeah, because it's some serious shit. I don't talk about this under 18 years old because you need a parent or guardian to have a conversation with about this subject. This is not a joking matter. You can be ET abducted from birth all the way through your middle ages, through your senior years, doesn't matter. They will abduct at any age that you are. And when you're dealing with somebody who doesn't grasp the concept of certain things because of an age issue, then no. I've had conversations with teens who had parents involved on video, and they were like, Mama, can I ask her? And the mother was like, yeah, sure, ask whatever, you know, as long, and they'd check with me. I'm like, yeah, they can ask me whatever, as long as you're present, as long as you're either on video or within the room and complete earshot of what we're talking about. I've been asked all sorts of things, but I will not have a conversation with somebody that is under 18 that doesn't have a parent with them, because this is some very serious shit. And it can do a lot of things. There are a lot of things that can happen with the human body that kids are not going to grasp in a grand scheme of things. Um, I bet you bake an awesome pie. Okay, so the person named Butthead, who says, I bet you can bake an awesome pie. Yeah, I can. My mother couldn't. My mother's used to be called Rocks because her pie crust, homemade pie crust, was that bad. Pie filling, great. Couldn't make a pie crust to save her life. And it was very well known within the family. Don't ask her to create. Ask Nikki to bake the pie. Actually, ask Nikki to create the pie crust. Have her mom bake the filling. Actually, I've been known for my cakes and pies, and I used to do a lot of baking back in the day when my kid was little. Now he's in his 30s. So, but yeah, in answer to that question, I used to be able to do it really well. Yeah. Okay, Eddie's. So you believe the holding thing about aliens. What do you mean holding thing? Okay. Be specific. I want to know what you mean. Because it may be something that I haven't heard about yet. Okay, Eddie, like that shit with the UFO, you making it sound like it's something for big boy pants people. It is. There's a lot of. The reason I'm saying it the way I'm saying it is because there's a lot of things that are done to the human body that children are not going to grasp. Things like being forced to be pregnant in one of the hybridization programs, being forced to do certain things. We're not just talking ETs doing this, we're talking ET and human governments doing this. I'm not talking about the hybridization program regarding the human governments. I'm talking being forced to do things against your will type of things. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And originally I came on to specifically talk about SSP. Hello, Diana. Diana, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Oh, that's a weird thing. I haven't had that happen in a very long time. Anyway, so yes, I do believe kids should know this. However, it has to be put into a proper state. It's already been done. Look at what Hollywood's been doing. This has been going on for 80, 90 years. So it's a different ballgame. We're in 2025. They've been teaching kids the slow drip factor of this for years. Look at the cartoons. Look at the animation, Look at the animation. Look at animation, look at Hollywood, look at all the different movies. There's been a slow drip factor. Do you know how many ETs, not actual ETs, but actually look-alike ETs are done in movies? There's so many of them. I'm coming across movies I've never seen before. Some I've heard of, but some I've never even heard of before. And many I've never seen before. And I'm like, holy shit. All but this is accurate in what I've seen. I've seen a lot of ETs in my life. I'm 57. There's a lot of different kinds of ETs out there. Okay? A lot. I don't call them aliens because aliens on this planet means something different. The other reason why I don't call them aliens is because when you say that in front of them, they get very offended and they're very nasty about it. Doesn't matter what kind you're in front of either. Anyway, I just wanted to say that being in SSP, yeah, there were a lot of secret space program. Yeah, there were a lot of really negative, detrimental, horrific things that went on. But there were a few really awesome things, such as the way my abilities worked, the way my psychic abilities worked, were off the charts. Well, to some degree, we're off the charts. They're more off the charts with the ETs than they are with the ETs that work with humans. And the piloting. I loved flying. There are so many aspects of that I miss. And now I understand why when I talked to the pilot, when my mom and I were flying from not Hawaii to Pago Pago, but from Pago Pago, and we're talking South Pacific, folks that don't know. American folks who don't know or don't realize. We were flying from Pago Pago it was supposed to be into Tonga, and it wasn't. We got stopped, but before we got stopped, before the plane got diverted to be sprayed, that's a whole nother subject in amongst itself, back in this 1970s, I had a conversation with a pilot as a kid, as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid, having a conversation with an adult male pilot who, for whatever reason, I knew certain things that I couldn't possibly have known, and he answered questions for me. And things actually jived. Now, it wasn't me having psychic information and talking about that. It was experience. Because they were already putting me into a piloting program at that age. And here I am in my regular day-to-day life as a kid, being on a plane with my mother, being on a very large plane with my mother, and we're flying, and the pilot actually told the co-pilot something and then turned around and started having a conversation with me via the stewardess at the time. And then the stewardess took off and she went to take care of the rest of the passengers, as this pilot is having a very open conversation with me. And everything made sense to me. And I'll never forget the look on his face. He was so stunned and so shocked that somebody so young knew certain information that shouldn't have been known by a 10-year-old little girl. I wish to God I could meet that pilot, but by now he's well into his 80s, 90s, if not deceased. Because I would have loved to have had a conversation with him now as to everything that he told me, what we talked about. I'm going to start crying. It was really a big deal for me. Oh, I missed that, Eddie. But you didn't still answer how you would know aliens hate that. I was told that. I was specifically told that by 2 specific extraterrestrials. Yeah, I've got a lot of anger in me because of what's been done to me. But I keep it really well hidden and sequestered, so to speak. It doesn't come out unless it's warranted. No, that's inaccurate. Nasir, who says there is one research that says there is an ET assigned to every individual to create a copy of the mind. That's not true. Let's see.
Nikki?
Are ghosts real? Yes, they are, Mikey. Hello, Mikey. Hello, Josh. Then you haven't come across an ET abductee. A real ET abductee that is willing to talk about it publicly. Hello! You're in South Australia, Robert? Oh my God! Kudos! Please stay safe, my friend. Who is Jesus to me? Unbridled Ministries. Hello, Unbridled Ministries. Well, let's see. Who is Jesus to me? In a past lifetime, I saw him on a cross. How's that for knowing who he is? It was only recently that I found out who the heck I was in that. I was about to say hell, but who the hell I was in that lifetime. So yeah, do I know who Jesus is? Yes, sir, I do. He actually took me to see a friend who had crossed over and wanted to say goodbye to him. How's that for knowing who he is? Yeah, bud, the alien's gonna get you. Oh, that was Peach. So do you believe in reincarnation? Yes, I do, but I'm also a Christian. Take that where you may. I'm a very unusual Christian. Adelaide, waiting for flight to Mount Gambier? I hope I said that correctly. Adelaide. Wow, you are south. Hello. I was wondering where you were. That's an uncommon combo. Yes, it is. It's a very unusual because I have a lot of experiences, unbridled ministries, a lot of experiences that a lot of the churches wouldn't allow me to stand at a pulpit to talk about. Would I? Oh yeah. I thought about it a few years ago, in fact. But even the church that I had come from, I doubt highly the former members of one main church who are now dispersed out into other local churches. I doubt highly any of them would want me on talking about what I know, because of remembering Jesus, talking to him, having numerous experiences, why I believe the way I believe. And just an FYI, if you have kids that you're praying for, keep praying for them. My aunt did, my great aunt did, all the way through her entire life. And how do I know that? Because she told me. Almost all the way up until the day she died. She didn't tell me the day she died, but she did repeatedly tell me, I'm still praying for you. So keep praying for those kids, you know. No, they're not. Okay, that brings up a really good question. A lot of people have asked, and since you are on here and you are a ministry, I don't know you from I don't know you from anyone. Robert, hang on a second. I'll read that in a minute. Okay, so Unbridled Ministries is saying, do you believe extraterrestrials are demonic in nature? No, I do not. And the reason I do not believe that is because I've seen all kinds of extraterrestrials. I know what true demonics are. I have fought against them. Okay? Demonics are in the ethereal, extraterrestrials are in the physical. Now, there are certain demonics that when they get to a certain level, because it takes millennia, for multiple millennia, for a what I call a wannabe, who is trying to become a true demon. A true demon has everything. I mean, there's levels. Ouch. There's levels to these demonics. I did not know that until I went into hand-to-hand combat. And Robert knows because he's been one of the people that I have had watch my back. I've been on paranormal teams with Robert. We've fought a lot of evil. So yeah. Oh, hello, Nick. Like I know you. I don't know you, but hello, come on in. And demonics are demons are completely different class of beings. Extraterrestrials are in the physical. Demons are in the ethereal, for the most part, unless they put forth energy into. Yeah, I mean, I've worked with angels. I know Archangel Michael. I know a number of archangels. We got Michael, Raphael, Gabriel. Oh man, I just got told not to say. I was just about to say a bunch of them, and I just literally, I'm getting shut down. Okay, so apparently I'm not supposed to say their names in this specific one. So, but yes, there are many different levels. There's the angelic realm. there's the demonic realm, and sometimes they will work together for a mutual good if it benefits both. Figure that one out. That went through me for a loop, a hardcore loop, when that's not how I've always been taught as a Christian. Didn't know that until I came face to face with two of them, and I'm like, why are you with him? And then and I'm like, and you're not fallen. I know you're not fallen because I can see you're not fallen. How is it? And then I get told, and then it's a whole different ballgame. Yes, I know. DeWall. I hope I pronounced that. Lucifer was once an angel too. Yes, I know. Do you know about fallen angels? Yes, I do. How does people who are possessed fit into your worldview? Ooh, that's a loaded question. Oh, how many do you want to know? All right. How do I respond to that? I'm trying to figure out how to word this. There are a lot of people. Matter of fact, I know somebody who's possessed, and that choice words, because he gave his life over every aspect of it, including his soul. And I cried for a soul, and then I got told to that's a whole nother subject. But anyway, so yeah, they're very real. How do they fit into my world? I avoid them like the frickin' plague. How's that for an answer? That's a smart-ass answer, and that's not an answer you deserve. But it's the best that's going to come from me right now, especially with, it's at least 82, 83 in here right now, and I'm like, can't seem to stay cool enough, because I don't do well in heat mode. Anyway, so how do people who are possessed fit into your worldview? My worldview, there's too many of them on this planet. How's that for an answer? Unbridled. The angelos, messenger angels, cherubim that sit between the mercy seat in the ark, seraphim who have 6 wings, the angel of the Lord Jesus before he came down into a human body, angels, Michael, etc. What about him? Great post, but what about him? Help Mikey for me? What did I miss? Hey ma'am, help Mikey for me. Hi Mikey. Hi. Okay, it's a bunch of joke bullshit stuff. Okay, got it. Anyway, I just wanted to say that even though you may go through some bad, think of the positivities. Because going through SSP was, in a lot of ways, horrific. But it had its moments. It had its real moments, and those moments were flying and being trained to fly. And moments like them testing my brain, that's a whole nother subject. Ash, hello. Unbridled Ministries, these are different types of angels, and the wheels like the Fium and the angels with the 4 faces. Okay, they don't show. Here's something what a lot of folks who may be Catholic may not understand, and some who are very religious may not understand, is that when I see, okay, you're going to hear this. I've got to take me off camera, guys. I'm getting into a lot of pain, but you're still going to hear me. What are you doing? Oh, we're talking about ETs, extraterrestrials. Right now we're talking about angelics and demonics and things of that nature. Whew, there we go. Okay. That was painful. I don't care to go through that again. Most is symbolic and spiritual in nature. Okay, so what I was going to say was that many of the things that are described in the Bible and elsewhere, that's not how I'm shown them as a psychic medium. Okay. Too fucking hot. Okay, sorry guys. Waves of maybe if I turn. Okay. Oh, I know what I need. I need an ice pack. That would have helped. Anyway, they do not show up to me like that. They show up to me as either an angel. See, I've seen angels. I've visually and psychically have seen angels. I've also, sorry, I'm having really sharp nerve pains. And this heat is not helping at all. I've visually seen them. I've psychically seen them. I've seen them, for example, on May 21st, I had a friend commit suicide. I was so pissed off at him that I started to go into a higher consciousness state while sitting here, I might add. And I had two of the largest hands come down over the top of my chakra system and shove me back in. And I was livid. Absolutely. And what I realized was that it was a prime angel. Now, I've seen prime angels' feet and legs before. They are huge. I stopped counting how tall they were at 25 feet. Prime angel that came into my home for a very specific reason a number of years ago. I've never seen feet so big in my life. I've never seen a giant before. Till then, absolutely horrified by what I saw, but yet so awestruck, so amazed, so incredible. Yeah, what about the silver cord and the heart chakras? Silver cord. Did you know that over time, as you age, your soul cord, now I didn't know this until a couple of years ago. Does that mean you can astral project? I can, I choose not to. I do higher consciousness work, which is very different than remote viewing. Very different than remote viewing, but it's higher. It's a higher dimensional, dimensional is not the, and higher realm is not the realm, dimension, those are not the words to classify it as. But yeah, I can do a number of things. I've got quite a few abilities, shall we call them. But I got so pissed off at this angel shoving me back into my body, because it wasn't a form of it was a form of higher consciousness and not a form of astral projection or remote viewing. Because I was going to come over and I was going to kick some ass. I was really pissed at my friend that he unalived himself. And I basically got told, no, you don't. And I was like, why? I'm going to come over and I'm going to literally put my foot on his ass and I'm going to kick it hard because he had no business doing this. I was pissed. I'm still pissed at him. He knows it, which is probably why he's not around very much right now. He tried to make good with me. So, yeah, there are a lot of things that a lot of people, all of us can do these things. All humans can do these things that I can do. You have to learn. You have to open your mind. Get rid of the cobwebs. Allow yourself to be the true you from your core. From your core. Okay? I do that. Unbridled. Okay. Fast Ed. Hi, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fast Ed. Unbridled Ministries. Fair. Stay safe and try to live the Christian way. Bible says to submit yourself to the Lord, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Been there, done that. I do it time and time again. Oh, no. I don't do the... That's doing the race card. I don't do that. Fast Ed. Okay. Unbridled. Dominant spiritual abilities that take meditation and prayer and sometimes cutting deals with spiritual things to access. No, I don't have to ask for access. I do. There are times where I know there are a lot of psychics that I know, a lot of friends that I have, who their attitude is, I don't ask, I just do. I know better. Because of who my soul has been and who I've been in past lifetimes, and I remember 104 lifetimes. Can I name every single one of them right now? No, I cannot. But there's everything from being on Atlantis. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name. It was driving me nuts. All I could think of was Atlanta, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Georgia. I'm overheated, I'm in pain, and I'm not cooling down yet, so I'm getting really kind of a bit wonky at the moment. And I'm not on any pain meds. So, trying to deal with this. Every single person, every human can and does have the ability to do the things that I do. You have to be willing to open your mind. You have to be willing to get into meditation. It's a form of prayer. You're calming your body, you're calming your mind down, and you stay in that state. And over time, you will start to be able to do different things, but you have to be willing and open to see it and open to use it. And preferably, asking certain permissions, preferably. We are the mighty humans, says Woo Riders. Yes, we are. Can you give a person your soul? Whoa, be careful with that one, Fast Ed. They are asking, can you give a person your soul? Yeah, be careful with that. What do I think about mushrooms? Depends on the version of mushroom. And it depends on the I can't think of what it's called. It's when you do microdosing. There we go. Do I believe in microdosing? I know people that microdose. Does it work? It works for them. Have I ever done it? No. Do I know somebody who has their own business? Do I know them personally? No. Do I know them because I watch and am an observer, and their energy is good, their business is good? I follow them for those reasons, and they have a microdosing business. I'm not going to say who that is. I'm not going to out them right now. But look into company. Matter of fact, they just won a major award. They outdid some pretty big names in the business. Look that up. Okay, hang on a second. How did you learn, hone, grow, and understand your spiritual abilities? I didn't know that I was a psychic medium. While I was growing up, I didn't think anything of it until I was about... Well, my first inkling was when my grandmother, I was about 5 or 6 at the time, somewhere between 5 and 7. That's how I need to say that. Oh my, I've got dirt underneath my nails. God, I hate that. Didn't realize that. Oh, that's because I was... Okay. All right. Earlier, before the... Okay. So, basically, my grandmother, when I was between the ages of 5 to 7 years old, would tell me, shh, we don't talk about those things, Nicole, because she was the only one who called me Nicole. We don't talk about those things, Nicole, because they'll put us away in the crazy house, the nut house, whatever you want. It was basically an insane asylum, is what she was implying. And she would know for good measure, because that's what they did back in her day. When I was growing up in the 1970s, and you have an adult who is your grandmother, who was blind at the time, who you were helping in and out of downtown Seattle in the 1970s while blind with your young granddaughter, and she is part and parcel to your safety and your... because that was one of the things back in the day that they talked about, was when you have people with you, you're more safer when you're blind. I don't know what they do nowadays, but that's what they did back then. 1212 on the knot, on the buttons up there. God, I'm not using my words right tonight. Anyway, so how did I learn? How did I grow? I learned that between 5 and 7. By the time I was 10 years old and in New York, well, I wasn't in New York, we were in Philadelphia. And I got to touch the Liberty Bell, and we were in the area. So when I touched the Liberty Bell when I was 10 years old, I saw everything. It was like period costumes, all of that. When we were going there, I was asking my mom and my mom's best friend at the time, who was in the car with us, because we lived in Washington State. We just drove across the country and were headed to my mom's friend's family, who was in New York. We made a stop in this town, and it's a town outside of Philadelphia, and all I saw were horse-drawn carriages. You'd see an occasional car come by right through the carriage. You'd see, or I would see, excuse me, people walking on the sidewalk, but it wasn't a sidewalk, it was, I don't know what you'd call it. It was a path in front of the same houses, but they were in what I thought were period costumes. They weren't period costumes, that's what they were wearing, because that was the time frame that I saw it in. I saw a couple of different kinds of carriages. One with a, was it called a backboard? Buckboard. They called it a buckboard. And another one was like two different kinds of, almost like two different kinds of centuries. But one was a buckboard. The other one was like what all I could think of is Little House on the Prairie right now. The TV show, 1970s TV show Little House on the Prairie, with the doctor in this black carriage type of, and it's a one horse type of carriage, whereas the buckboard was two people, or not two people, two horses riding. So you go from that into a situation to where, oh God, we had come back from Tonga. Mom and I had come back from Tonga, so this would have been, oh God, this would have been right around the time that, no, this is after that, so this would have been just before the ETs did my first surrogate hybrid pregnancy. So just before I'm 13. So that one was a bit of a different situation. So it progresses. As a psychic, as a medium, it progresses. But I started cutting things off right around the age of 7 years old. Really started cutting things off because I got so terrified from an ET standing in front of me at the foot of my bed. And when I got so scared, I shut down a lot of aspects of my abilities without knowing that I shut them down. By the time I got married in 1990 or 1989, I had shut down even more of my abilities for very specific reasons. Basically going into the church and living a very Christian lifestyle, and without realizing a lot of things, I started a lot of that built back up and was like, we're in your face and this is what you're seeing and this is how it's going to be. And I'm like, holy crap, okay. So I had been doing meditation all my life. I'd been doing meditation since I was 16 years old. Focusing on, matter of fact, God, I can't think of her name now. Actress, very famous actress. Giving me the name of her book isn't going to be useful. Telling me her name is. Thank you. Out on a Shirley MacLaine. Thank you, Mom. Love you. So she wrote a book called Out on a Limb. Love you, Mom. Thank you. And my mom read the book. And I don't remember what year that book came out, but it was, Mom got the book after it went into paperback. So it went from hardback to paperback. So whatever year it went to paperback, that was the book that I read it. Or it was probably about 8 months after that I read it. And I'm saying that as a guesstimate into how far, and I haven't even looked at, I'm sorry folks, if there's stuff in, I haven't been reading the chat. Okay, Xavier, that's gonna go away. Okay. You're not talking to anyone else. Finn 8000, this is not a scam. Dead people are dead. They have no spirit. That's not true. That's a lie. Um, okay, Village Girl, Flo. Hi, Flo. Alex, sure. Hallucinations can be created by. Okay, Alex. I'm not even sure if I know how to pronounce that. Kulakov? Do you think the hallucinations are real or created by your own mind? Hallucinations can be created by a lot of different factors. To be weird. Have you ever possessed someone through astral? No, that's not possible. Unbridled Ministries. Have you ever possesses someone through astral projection? What country are you from? You're using English language in a bit of a different way. Have you ever, I think you meant possessed, someone through astral projection? As far as I know, that's not even humanly possible. So you wanted to know Unbridled Ministries, how I did all of that. That's how I did all of that. It built over time. Here's something to know. As you age, your abilities can come out more in different ways. Your abilities can become stronger, or they can become lowered while other abilities come to fruition and come to the forefront. So, for example, I used to pick up items, doesn't matter what they were. Sometimes it was metal, sometimes it was plastic, but it's more conduit if it's metal. And I used to be able to see things with that. Now, not so much, because other abilities became more to the surface. Does that make sense? So I used meditation. I used many different levels of meditation. I tried astraling. My first time that I astral, I'm trying to remember, how old was I think I was 16 or 17. I think I was 17 when I did my first astral projection. I don't remember. I think it was 17. Well, I remember, but it's all locked away, so to speak. So there's an answer to that question. You can do a lot more with your abilities if you're willing to learn. You can do higher consciousness work. You can do astral work. You can. You gotta be. Okay, here's the other thing. This is something that we kind of got into within one of our groups. You can work with a lot of exalted ones or a lot of hierarchies. You can work with a lot of angelics. But if you don't know how to be a team player, that's going to cause issues, and it could cost somebody's life, let alone somebody's soul. So be damn well and sure that if you're on a paranormal team, that you're all players, meaning that you all are willing to protect each other and not solely and only use somebody else as your method of protection. You have to know how to protect yourself. You have to know how to protect others. You need to be using those abilities, not just psychic mediumship abilities. You've got to be using not just for communication. If you're going to be in this field and you're going to be doing the work, you better damn well know what the hell you're doing. Because, seriously, you're looking at somebody's life, you're looking at somebody's soul that could potentially be lost in either way, shape, or form. That's not something to joke about. When they talk about spiritual warfare, there really is spiritual warfare. I've seen it firsthand. I've been in it in hand-to-hand combat. I've had people have my back in hand-to-hand combat, and I've had theirs in hand-to-hand combat. It's no joke. It's no joking matter. And for those that talk it but cannot walk it, get the fuck out of the business. Because you're dealing in souls. And there's one person that knows who the hell I'm talking to. Actually, there's 5 people who know who the hell I'm talking to. It's not a joke. It's not something to take lightly. And if you cannot have somebody else's back, get the fuck out of the business. On that note, we're switching over to something different. Okay, Unbridled Ministries. Does this mean you're also educated on satanic rituals and how satanic stuff operates, including hexes and tricurses? To be blunt, not very. But I do know about them. I have numerous friends that can tell me the information on it better than I could ever verbalize it. And are my spidey senses, as some people call it, attuned to it? Yeah. Because I put up with, I have put up with a lot of bullshit. And when you come across evil, a wannabe trying to play their game, or a true demonic. True demonics are rare. They are real, but they are rare. Try having one try to murder you one night. I had one that tried to do that to me one night. That is no fucking joke. I take that shit very seriously. And I don't give 2 shits if you don't believe me. I know the friends that I've got, they know what I'm talking about. They know that I'm legit. They know I'm being real. Public, they're not going to know. I get that. And I get that there's going to be all kinds of crap involved in it. I get it. But I'm not playing games on this. This is a big fucking deal. You pay attention. You don't play around with demonics. You don't play around with ritualistic bullshit. And it's bullshit. Get out. Because and you stay out of it. You protect yourself as best as you can. It's not a joke to be playing around with. Yes, I'm also an empath. Excuse me. Do you call seeing the past premonitions also, or does that technically have a different name? The past premonitions? Oh, you mean past lives? Yes, I've seen numerous past lives of mine, and they're still very much in my physical body. For example, there was a number of past lives where I was around horses. Oh, shirt pain again. Sorry. And this lifetime was not around past lives, but I still, or not past lives, this lifetime was not around horses, but I still remember what it was like being around them. I still have muscle memory. I still have, my soul is remembering it as muscle memory. Um, I have a lifetime where I remember being a Roman soldier. Sorry, I was about to say something else. Trying to focus, not on this pain at the moment. And how wicked and vile that was. I have a lifetime where I was what you would call a milkmaid, nursemaid, and took care of the cows. And I walked around in shit all the time. I have lifetimes that I remember where I was royalty. Do I know who I was? Oh, you better fucking believe I remember who I was. And it's very rare. The fact that I even said the word royalty, I will never say who it is. They will not go over well globally. Let's put it that way. I remember being Native American. I remember that lifetime. I have vague recollections of my last lifetime, and I still can't even grasp a hold of it because it was so traumatizing to me because it was in Germany and how I died. So, yeah. I've had, there's a man in my life that I consider a brother in this lifetime. I consider him a brother in this lifetime, and in 3 lifetimes, he was technically, biologically my brother in those 3 lifetimes. And we met up in this lifetime, and we now call each other brother and sister. I found family members from past lifetimes. People in this lifetime who I know as friends were my siblings in one of my past lifetimes, or one of our past lifetimes. So there's a lot to all of this, but you have to pay attention. I didn't understand when I was in 7th grade and starts with an L. Can't think of his social studies teacher. I can't think of his name at the moment. And when I was giving a book report in that class in 7th grade, I could not get enough of this man's, that there's a book. We were all supposed to read a specific subject, but it didn't pertain to one specific book. And in the process of reading this book, I got so involved and so invested in this guy's story, I couldn't understand it. It was because it was how it was written. So I went to, after the book report was done, after I gave the typical student response to a not just a written book report, we had to verbalize it. Yeah, I know the name of the school. I just don't remember the name of the teacher, Mom. Thank you. I can't think of his name. I want to call him Lozier, but that's not it. Anyway, so after that class, after that book report changed me, because I was so heavily invested in how this guy wrote about this man's life story. And I didn't understand why everything that this author wrote about, I knew about. I was like, oh, they're over here, And here's that. Why do I know that? How do I know that? How did I? And it opened me up. It allowed me to see the different things from a past life. And I didn't understand that back then. It wasn't until I was in my late 40s, early 50s that I went, oh. And then I started, it literally, that past lifetime came flooding back, like hardcore. So when you start paying attention and you start looking into things, you will find, a lot of times out of not, that you're dealing with a past lifetime. There are so many things that I was heavily into when I was a child, like a young child, all the way up until I was a teenager. Everything from horses to Egypt to, oh my God, ufology to, trying to think of everything, and it's all just like blowing past me really fast. Memory after memory after memory. Oceanography. I was very heavily invested in, as a young kid, horses. Oh my God, anything that had to do with horses, I had to read about. All past life stuff. Everything that had to do with our Earth's oceans. And then when very famous musician, I can't think of his name right now. God, I'm like space cadet. I'm not remembering names at all. Died in his own plane crash. Took himself out via a plane. I cannot think of his name. Used to sing a lot about Virginia, country roads. One of the names of the songs. Anyway, I can't think of his name. Anyway, he used to sing about Jacques Cousteau and the Calypso, and I was heavily involved in reading and having my mom read to me. I mean, well, part of that was because I was younger than I could read. So anything to do with oceanography, anything to do with ocean photography, anything to do with science. As a child, I was heavily invested in all of that. But I understand now where all of that comes from. It's past lifetimes. It's different experiences that I had. And that's something that okay, Xavier, I am about to kick your ass off of my page. Comments like that are not okay. No. Xavier, do spirits have sex? No. You just misspelled it. Okay. I'm not answering that. Woof. Okay. I got trolls in here that I have not paid attention to. Had a party. Yeah, I do not want that on my... fake deities, people that are attached to the lies don't ever actually want. Oh, here we go. More bare feet stuff. No, thank you. Okay, well, I'm done with that. And I'm done with that. No political shit. Okay. BBW Granny. Well, that's a first I've ever heard. Oh, thank you for saying that, Unbridled Ministries. At the vids, she's technically Christian, just with some different details in the specifics of salvation and doctrines. Yep, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. Then why are you here if you're calling me delusional or schizophrenic? Thank you. Okay. Business. How do you protect others? That's a different ballgame. I'm not talking publicly here. Jaco, that's enough. No more sex talk. Okay, that's it. Okay, I have a Oh, come on. Alright. This is gonna take a moment. You're still gonna hear me, but I'm gonna remove the camera for a moment. Apparently, I've got a little bit more of work to deal with this. Because people cannot seem to be respectful. And apparently I've got a lot of reporting to do now. Let's see. Am I from Egypt? No, I'm not. Let's see. Alright, how do I get rid of... Okay. Wow, you guys have really turned this into a nasty thing. You do not want to know, Pawn. Let's see. Billy Sticks. I'm not answering that question. Unbridled Ministries. In all of your past lives, have you always been a woman, or has your gender changed based on who you were living as? I have been male in past lifetimes. I have been female in past lifetimes. Yeah, that's not so funny. That needs to go away. Jeez, come on, you guys. Oh, yeah. Speaking of taking your meds, somebody needs to be taking meds because of what they're posting. Wow. Bunch of shit up. That's awesome. Yeah, this is not made up shit, and if you can't be nice, you need to get the fuck off of my channel. Okay, hour and 47 minutes, and apparently people cannot be nice. Where'd I go, Mikey? Well, let's see. I took myself off of here so that I could deal with the asshats that are in the chat. Yes, I put tape over the camera. You've got 7 people. You can't afford it. I don't give 2 shits how many are in here. I don't care if it's 1 or if it's 1,000. You don't fucking talk like this in my chat and get away with it. So, you know, this has taken me a while to remove all of your shit. Because my mods are not on here right now. Type of nap. No, I need some pain meds. That's what I need, Billy. Comments. Yeah, my brain is scrambled. Okay. Let's see. Prodigal son, you realize most of what you are sharing is demonic oppression, often brought on by First Commandment violations. Have you ever do tarot readings, Ouija boards? I can't stand Ouija boards for a very good few reasons. One, they create portals. Learn to close the damn things. Those that play with them, in my opinion, no, they shouldn't be played with. And they shouldn't be put out by Hasbro or whoever the hell is making them nowadays and put out as toys and given as gifts. biggest stupid frickin' mistake on this planet. Yeah, Alicia, hi. Okay, that goes. John Denver, thank you, Unbridled Ministries. I appreciate that. Royal Britannica Military Academy. No, I do not. Let's see. That's pretty disgusting. Yeah. Shit's gonna get weird. Yes, it is. How the fuck can I block this motherfucker? There we go. Okay. How do you get rich? Work your ass off. Let's see. Well, apparently, since there's 4 still on here, hello, Amy. Yeah, you're gonna have your hands full tonight, Miss Maud, because we got assholes in here. Alright. Let's see. Try 12 inches. Let's see. Anything else? Alright. I think I got everything. So why do you think or base your beliefs in reincarnation or of past lives? Because they are things that I have seen. That's why. God. You know, I said that just to see what you guys would do. Or what you would say. And apparently, that's all you know how to say. Alright. So, going back. The camera back up. We shall see how this works. And hopefully, you guys can be nice. And apparently not. Amy, can you please remove these 2? Because I can't apparently remove them from here, and I don't know why. I can change a bunch of different things, but apparently that's not one of them. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Be nice, Billy. And Xavier, you as well. Anyhow, alright. So, any questions about ufology? Any questions regarding paranormal? I'm not doing psychic stuff. Good. Be nice. Or I'll keep deleting all of your fucking comments. That's not being nice. She's frozen. Am I still frozen? Anyhow, so regarding, you read them through already. Yes, I've read all of them. All the messages that are very inappropriate for this channel. So you said you're not doing paranormal. No, I'm not doing readings or anything of that nature tonight. 5 a.m. here. Pink. Hello, Pink. 97. It is, I have no idea what time it is here. 9:40. Oh my god, it's 9:45 p.m. You can't run now? No, I don't intend to. 45. But it took me a little bit to get caught up in the messages so that I can be here. So I am a psychic. I am a medium. And I do paranormal, deal with paranormal. I've been on paranormal teams, things of that nature. I'm an ET abductee. I'm 57. I've been abducted all my life. Been told I've been abducted. ET abducted since my mom was pregnant with me. Matter of fact, I got notified via the device, one of the implants I've got, that it wouldn't be long now before I get abducted again. I'm not doing a reading. I'm not doing readings tonight. Oops, wrong thing. So now that anyway, on that note, if there are no questions, Jordan Camper, can you give me some wisdom about? I'm not doing readings tonight. I'm not doing that kind of stuff tonight. We're talking numerous other things. Anyhow, I've been at this 2 hours and have quite a few trolls in here, still in here at the moment. Anyway, prodigal son, you do realize that turning to other spirits or gods for information or guidance is a violation of first commandment. Heard you read that you are a Christian with a different doctrinal beliefs. Okay, now I am done with that. Anyway, hello, Grinch8, Xavier. Yeah, that's... Yeah, alright, we're done. Well, since you don't know how to act like adults with a brain, and all you know how to do is sexual shit, you're pretty pathetic, you two. Alright. Adios to the 10 who are watching, and to the 2 assholes who are being assholes. On that note, I may come back later this week, and if I have to deal with these 2 pieces of human shit, I will bring plenty of backup so that I'm not having to deal with your assholes. Anyway, on that note, I hope everybody else takes care. If you have questions about ufology, take very good care of yourselves. Leave me a comment or a message, and play nice. Bye, guys.